Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hands of Blue review. Remember to go watch Firefly if you don't get that reference. But thank you for being here. My name is Peter Sharon, a veteran of the video game and movie visual effects industry, and a lover, sometimes critic of comics. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Earthworm Jim by Doug TenNapel. Launch the Cow is the title of this book. And before we get into this, I just wanted to kind of share some stuff that I got here that Doug added in with this package. One of these things being a cool little kind of preview comic to BigFoot Bill 2, The Finger of Poseidon. And here we got some, really cool artwork. I think this is in the back. We got colors on this by Gaberiel Eltaeb. Cover illustrations by Alejandro Mirabal. So he did this here. We have edited by Christina Lynn and created, written, and drawn by Doug TenNapel himself. So it's a fun little book, little preview. Gives us a little intro into the story of what's going to be going on with in BigFoot Bill 2. We meet some interesting characters like I think his name's Skunk Ape. Yep, Skunk Ape here, and even got little Jersey Devil and stuff. So we get to see some interesting new little characters development in this one. Got a unicorn. Always need a unicorn when you're talking about fantasy creatures, I guess, So this was a fun little quick read. BigFoot Bill 2 is actually on Indiegogo right now. So if you want to try and get a copy of that, you can go there and check it out. I'll put a link in the bottom. I think you can actually pick up issue 1 as well. So that way you can get the full story from the beginning. But we got this fun book. We got this excellent groovy little patch of Earthworm Jim. That's his favorite little tagline, So if you know the character, you will get that. And then we also got these cool prints of Earthworm Jim. Like him on the rocket that he has. This is the cover artwork of the making of book of Earthworm Jim. And then we got this cool little blockhead guy I haven't really put together yet. We can cut him out and put him together, and he becomes this cool little block figure of Earthworm Jim, which is kind of neat. So I will just set these aside. And so we saw this book. This is the main book here. And I just want to go over the making of it. I mean, this is a really nice book. I believe it's like 11 or 8.5 by 11. It's hardbound, and this book did a really big numbers on Indiegogo. I believe it actually holds the record for the most money earned in a campaign, around like $850 something thousand. But it's really cool, like what he did. You have like some debossing, some embossing where he's like pushed out of the cover. This stuff sunken in the foil there. We've got a cool image of Earthworm Jim on the back and everything. And then, we got this really cool gold gilded edges he did. And, we got a lot of this stuff because of how much money it made. Doug could do these fun, cool perks to make the book, look really good. These, like this here, I believe is done by Alejandro, who did the cover of, the BigFoot Bill preview. We got Earthworm Jim there, Psychro in here. And really cool. And then I wanted to show you real quick. This is the making of Earthworm Jim. And we got the whole cover art here. Evil the cat. Psychro. Princess What's Her Name. And this is a cool book. It kind of goes into... it's really cool. But this kind of tells a lot. Oh, also, this one has a really neat silver gilded edges that he did for that book. As one of the cool perks and kind of stretch goals that we got. But this is really neat. It kind of goes into the story about the team that created the Earthworm Jim video game back in the day, cartoons, and a bunch of the just kind of goes over the whole kind of history of Earthworm Jim. And this is a really cool page. I just want to kind of pull out real quick because this was a perk stretch goal for getting this cool little pull-out page. And this is really neat because it gives us this whole, neat timeline of the different books he's done, the different stories, the Earthworm Jim video games, everything leading up to, to what we got today. There's the other side, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff that Doug's done over the years in all the books. We got BigFoot Bill here, and then, Earthworm Jim and everything coming out right there. Oops. Let me get that guy tucked back in. But yeah, really cool book. Just has a bunch of extra stuff, early comics of, it goes into all the different guys and gives a little background on all these guys that helped do it, bring the game to life, all that kind of stuff. And, some really cool just, showing the creation and kind of development of Earthworm Jim. And just like the sketched out kind of drawings for some of the pages and everything that you'll find in the book. And so, yeah, really excellent. Got some. This actually, you have a large poster that has that on there, but the poster is just really big. It wouldn't fit. So, let's get back into the main book, Earthworm Jim. So this is pretty cool. This is basically it's the same character, just shown twice. Jim calls him Peter Puppy, but his real name is Proto Pooch. You got Princess What's Her Name. We got Jim, of course. And yeah, this is a good book. I think Doug said there's going to be maybe about 4 books to this whole storyline. And it's basically just how Jim came to be. Like how he came to be Earthworm Jim. We're kind of flipped though. So we got like the Evil Queen. You see some of the power suits they've developed before and how they get the actual suit they're going to use, to try and basically destroy planets, because you can see the big gun here and it's powered by that suit, and whoever wears it, they can just have to think about something and they can fire it and try and blow up planets because, well, she's a evil queen. We got, I think this is like Professor Monkey for a head. So he has the monkey attached to the top of his head here. I think the queen is Queen Slug-for-a-butt, I think was her name. Yes, Queen Slug-for-a-butt. I love the names Doug gives like characters in here. They're like all pretty goofy, but it goes along with his cool like cartoony style, because that's what Doug's background really is, in like cartoony animation kind of stuff. But basically, you get the princess. She escapes with the suit, try and get out of it. We meet this little character named Snot right here, and the suit they kind of drop off, hits this asteroid, and this lady kind of grabs it, sprinkles some little magic dust, and lets it drop, and it comes down and lands on Earth, where little earthworm crawls in there, and next thing you know, bing bang boom, we got Earthworm Jim. Waking up, turning alive for the first time. You see his body kind of going in and hooking up to the controls, and his favorite tagline, groovy. And so like he kind of goes in like just kind of the wonderment of, hey, I'm alive. Like, ooh, this is neat. That's neat. Who's this? What's that? And just kind of him kind of discovering his own self being alive, and this big world around him. But a lot of stuff goes on in this book. We got Psycho trying to come to get the suit back from Jim, and they go through this whole kind of crazy adventure trying to escape him, all the while like Jim's kind of being goofy, and the princess is trying to tell him that, hey, you got to be more serious, and he even comes down here at this one point to kind of look around in the suit and going like, oh, whoa, look at it down here. This is really cool. Tries to lay a little smooch on her, and gets a nice big old slap across the face for that. Kind of fun, but yeah, I mean, there's like a bunch of like comical, funny stuff going on throughout this story. And here Psycho is in his cool crow jet, and he's here trying to get back the suit, and yeah, you know, we get some crazy crow monsters coming through here that Psycho gets to come and try and help him, you know, attack these guys and pull back the suit. And Jim's suit's, you know, figuring out how he can take the head. This is a great move from anyone who played the old video games back in the day. You know, you did the whole pull Jim out, and, you know, he'd swing him out and kind of use him to swing from spot to spot. So here he is kind of doing some of that as he's kicking some butt. And yeah, you know, we got right here is like a good thing of, you know, proto pooch, like kind of going all crazy monster style, you know, to help Jim. And you know, Jim ends up getting into an area where he meets up with Evil the cat, who tries to trick Jim, you know, into getting the suit, and Psycho kind of gets it back at a point, and got a nice big crazy little fight scene between the princess and him. And you know, Jim kind of sneaks onto the ship and manages to, you know, stop them from doing the bad they're gonna do, you know, blowing up the Queen's ship here, and, you know, getting back the suit and taking it back down. And this is funny, this is where I guess they get to launch the cow, maybe, when he comes smashing back down and launches the cow. You know, and yeah, we got to find out kind of what happens in the next ones, like after the big ship blows up here. Kaboom! But yeah, it's a great intro. It's 160 pages, you know, so it was a pretty fun book, good read, you know, but gives us like the basic, you know, kind of groundwork for the story and what's going to be happening, just given, you know, because yeah, it's telling the story of Earthworm Jim. And so I'm, you know, excited to see where Doug takes this in the next story, in the next book and everything, like how the story advances, you know, what new crazy characters we might run into, you know, from Doug's imagination. And yeah, you know, I enjoyed it. It was a fun read. You know, lots of story in there, and like lots of funny kind of goofy stuff. You know, I mean, just this whole book is just such a good looking book. You know, the paper quality inside here, really nice, really good quality, like stock paper. You know, I mean, Doug did not skimp on this book at all, and that's what I noticed from a lot of the indie projects and components that I components that I have backed, is everything is really nice quality. People really put the effort to like make a really nice book that the fans are really going to enjoy, you know, not just in artwork and in story, but like the actual production quality of the book and how nice it is. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't had a chance to possibly back this, I mean, yeah, there's a little joke he does about here about an NDA to the Earthworm Jim games, and you know how Doug kind of signed that with making the video games and stuff, and you know, so he throws a little humor in there here and there about some stuff. Yeah, Jim just having fun eating some dirt. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thought it was a good story. You know, just like really impressed by this quality. And what was so cool, this book was pretty cheap. It was like $25, I believe, for just this book. And I mean, look at what you're getting for $25. That's amazing. I mean, I honestly believe like in a store, this thing would probably retail for around like $60 or maybe even more, you know, being 160 pages, a hardbound like this, you know, all the embossing and debossing and kind of, you know, a little kind of glossiness we have to everything, you know, even on the back there, all the nice shiny shimmery and the foil, you know, so it was definitely worth the buy. And I think you might even have this up on Kickstarter if you'd maybe want to, you know, go and purchase a copy for yourself. You could do it over there. And I think he added in some extra little things and goodies for this book on that Kickstarter campaign. But also, yeah, he does have the BigFoot Bill 2 book coming out. So maybe I'll do another review of BigFoot Bill just to kind of show what that's about a little bit later and stuff, since that campaign's going. I don't think I've done a review on that one yet. I do have the book, and that book is also really nice built hardcover like this. But yeah, I mean, for, you know, any of you comic fans out there, you know, like definitely take a look at Indiegogo and check out a bunch of the, you know, the campaigns they have on there and what they have, because there's all kinds of different comics, from kind of manga style stuff to, you know, straight up comics to more kind of cartoony kind of comics, you know, and I think there's kind of everything for anyone there. Like even, you know, a couple books I've backed are more kind of, to me, seem more like kind of kid oriented, like young kid oriented stuff. So like if you have young kids, or you know, you wanted some stories to read to them, like there's some stuff up there that you can do, or some campaigns and books that would be good for that. One is called Wart the Wizard by Mandy Summers. Just throw that out. But yeah, this was fun. I can't wait till, you know, we get to the second part of this to read more of the story, see kind of where they take Earthworm Jim in these adventures. And until then, I guess we will have to just wait and see. But thank you so much for tuning in. Please like the video if you haven't already. Please share it out to people who might also have a comic book interest. And, you know, because they might be into this, or maybe some of the other reviews I've done on some of the other books that they might want to try and check out and see, you know, if they're interested in those ones. But, oh, and don't forget to sub, please, if you haven't already. If you're new to this channel and just watching, please hit that subscribe button, even that little bell for get notifications. So when I do these fun little videos, you know, you get to know when they come out, and you can sit there and watch me be a dork and do these. But until that time, thank you everyone again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick little short review of Earthworm Jim, Launch the Cow by Doug TenNapel. And I will see you next time on a Hands of Blue review. Take care, everybody.